Today we're talking about my top 5 male predictions for this year's London Marathon 2020 edition. Let's get into it. Welcome back everybody. If this is your first time here, my name is Brendan and on this channel we talk all things running, from running shoe reviews to London Marathon coverage to everything in between. So if that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button right down below. Let's get into the predictions. One really interesting thing came out of the press conference this morning, and that is Bekele is wearing the Nike Vaporflies and Kipchoge is wearing the Alphaflys. So this race is not only Kipchoge versus Bekele, but the Vaporfly versus the Alphafly. I can't wait to see what goes down. I want to preface this entire video with it's going to be almost impossible to predict this race. So there's a couple factors that make this race particularly hard to predict. So reason number one why this race is particularly hard to judge is because we don't have any 2020 races to judge their performances off. We can only look at the 2019 results and guess how their 2020 preparation went, which you know that they probably had to deal with some challenges with training. They were probably preparing for certain races that got canceled. So I'm sure that there was some turmoil in their 2020 preparation, but these guys are professionals, so I have no doubt that they knew what to do leading up to the 2020 London Marathon. But like I said, it's really hard to judge the form that everyone's in because we don't have any recent performances. Number two, why this is so hard to predict is because this is a brand new course. They had to alter the course for the London Marathon this year. It's typically just one large loop, I believe it is. But this year, they're doing 19.6 loops. It's pretty much like a track. So for those two reasons, it's going to be particularly hard to predict exactly how this race is going to go down. But I'm going to give it my own honest try. I have no doubt that these predictions are going to be pretty off. But this is all for fun. And I want you to leave your predictions down in the comment section down below. We'll have some fun with it. After the race on Sunday, we'll come back and look to see if our predictions came true. But anyway, let's get into my top 5 predictions. So we all know that Eliud Kipchoge and Kenenisa Bekele are the favorites for this event. All the London Marathon advertisements, press conferences, everything are focused on these two amazing athletes. And rightfully so. They have a great track record. So of course we're going to focus in on these two amazing athletes. But we can't forget, there are 38 other equally amazing athletes competing in this event. And you know what, guys? All it could take is Bekele or Kipchoge maybe tripping over a rock, stumbling over a rock, or who knows, losing a couple seconds somewhere, and these other athletes could take advantage of that. So we have to keep that in mind too. Who I have coming in at number 5 is Kipchoge. He was in the London Marathon in 2019 going up against Kipchoge and all the other great athletes that were in that event. He came in 4th with a time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 1 second. That's pretty darn respectable. Coming in at number 4, I have Mule Washington. He was in the 2019 London Marathon as well. He came in at a time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 16 seconds, which was good enough for 3rd in that race. Quite impressive. Coming in at number 3, and this actually, I think that if there were any underdogs that could take the throne this year, it's this guy. I think Mohamed Guerma could potentially win the race if something goes wrong for Bekele and Kipchoge, but on my list right now, I'm assuming happy days scenario, he's coming in at number 3. He did the London Marathon in 2019 as well. He came in 2nd in the London Marathon in 2019, coming in just a few seconds behind none other than Kipchoge. In 2019, he came in at a time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 55 seconds. That's pretty impressive. I think that was like 20 seconds behind Kipchoge. So who knows, maybe if, like I said, if something goes a little wrong for Kipchoge or Bekele, he could easily slot up there. Maybe, who knows? I'm excited to see. Coming in at number 2, now this is where things get really interesting. So of course, I'm gonna have to slot in either Kipchoge or Bekele, but you know what? I'm going to give the edge to Kipchoge to come in first. So that means Bekele is my number 2 pick this year. The reason being is I just think that Kipchoge has the mentality that he is the best. He's coming in off that high of breaking the 2-hour marathon. Yes, I think he does draw a bit more on the crowd. However, I think that he has the mental fortitude to put that aside and keep on pressing forward. So yes, I think Bekele is going to come in number 2 and Kipchoge will take the crown. However, watching the press conference this morning, they're both extremely confident and they both seem so relaxed. I can't wait to see what goes down on Sunday. It's going to be super exciting. But yes, that is my top 5 list. We're going with Kipchoge, Bekele, Guerma, Washington, and Kipchoge. That's my list, guys. What is your top 5 list? Make sure not to just focus on Kipchoge and Bekele because, like I said, there are 38 other amazing athletes for the male field. We're coming back tomorrow to talk about the female field. So, guys, hit that subscribe button if you want to stay tuned. Sorry this video was a little bit rushed. Honestly, guys, I have to go to work in a couple hours, but I want to get this out. And yeah. All right, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good night.